Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. While we remain snow-free down here on the Front Range, the mountains continue to get hit with waves of snow. And that is certainly good news for a lot of folks, right? A live look from Loveland Pass right now, where they've finally seen some significant snowfall this week. You can see skiers and snowboarders that are definitely enjoying their time up there. Right there, you're just looking at cars trying to get across easily. There's obviously reason to be excited. Here's a look at how much snow has fallen in the mountains across the past 24 hours. Vail Resort reporting about 6 inches of snow. Telluride Resort, 7 inches. And Aspen Snowmass, about 10 inches of snow.
And they will take every single inch, right,
Yeah.
Kathy?
Oh my
They'll
gosh.
say, give us a couple more, maybe a foot or two, we'll take it.
It's really been an incredible week. We're tracking storm number 3 out of 3 storms for this week. And this last storm is coming into Colorado tonight, and Denver will see snow showers tomorrow as a result. So we're finally getting in on the action. Last night, there were a few flurries along the Front Range and a little bit of light snow with this system in northeastern Colorado. But it's this system to the south and west that we're watching. It is headed into our southern mountains in the next 6 hours. Winter weather and travel advisories will go out. Denver could see snow showers, which is great news when you consider for the entire season, 13.4 inches of snow, not even half of where we should be at this point in the season, the lowest number since 1901. But in the mountains, the snow is starting to pick back up. We're also seeing a bit of wind and some areas of blowing snow, so we're watching that pretty closely. In Denver, a day without a lot of wind. It was certainly cold. Temperatures holding in the low to mid 30s today, and we will go colder tomorrow. Winds out of the southwest already starting to bring in some moisture with that next system approaching the southern mountains, but we're still talking about critical fire weather conditions from Pueblo down to the New Mexico line, with a fire weather warning that remains in effect until 7. Snow showers ending, more snow coming in, and a brand new round of snow advisories for another 10 inches of snow in the mountains starting tonight. Of course, all eyes on the mountains for high avalanche danger. And then we're pretty excited because tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be a cold Friday in Denver, but we've got a shot at seeing some snow right here in the city. Will we see accumulation? I'm going to talk about that and your weekend outlook coming up.
Kathy, thank you. As the debate over large data centers and the AI boom continue to rage on, there are 2 competing bills at the state capitol that could actually shape the future of that here in Colorado.
Yeah, developers want more of those centers here, but what that looks like depends on what lawmakers pass. 9 News Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert explains.
The data center boom is coming to Colorado.
We're seeing states around the country as well as Colorado really grappling with how do we accommodate data center growth.
Alana Miller is the Colorado Climate Policy Director for the National Resource Defense Council. She says it's unclear how large AI data centers will impact our state.
The growth will be rapid.
This legislative session, Democratic lawmakers seem split on how to handle this. A House bill would offer a state sales and use tax exemption to companies investing more than $250 million to build a data center here. But Alana supports a bill with a different goal. A Senate bill, if passed, would require data center operators to generate or purchase enough renewable energy to match their annual electricity use.
We want to ensure that these massive new energy users don't derail Colorado's transition to clean energy.
Heidi Leithwood with the environmental nonprofit 350 Colorado supports the Senate bill requiring more clean energy.
We are concerned about data centers being wooed without sufficient guardrails to protect communities and protect our climate.
Weld County Commissioner Kevin Ross feels what Senate Bill 102 is asking is too much.
I think this is a personal backhanded way of saying we don't want data centers here because we're going to make it essentially impossible to power those up here in Colorado.
Different ideas for Colorado's future and how to handle AI. Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Amanda, thank you. Both bills have just been introduced. Neither have been voted on so far.
The person injured and hospitalized in Aurora house fire yesterday has died. Firefighters pulled that victim out of the home, and they were taken to the hospital in critical condition. We do not know their identity at this time. 5 other people are still without a home because of that fire. The cause is still under investigation.
Firefighters were able to contain a fire inside a restaurant on top of Aspen Mountain this morning. The fire was reported at about 7:30 this morning at the Sun Deck restaurant just before operations started on the mountain. Aspen Fire says it started inside of one of the walls inside that restaurant, and because of that, the sprinkler system was not able to activate, prompting, as you would imagine, a pretty big response from Aspen Fire and 5 other agencies. Good news is nobody was injured. Aspen Fire says crews actually had to use a gondola and several snow vehicles just to reach the restaurant.
It's a challenge because there's a lot of people gathering at the base area. But on the flip side of that, it really helped us with that there were no skiers on the mountain at that time. It allowed us to utilize the snowcats who were getting done with grooming from the night. So the timing worked out for us in favor of being able to save the structure and getting personnel and resources up there.
Aspen Fire says the restaurant remains closed while fire crews continue to investigate the cause.
The building that once held a historic restaurant in Evergreen will soon be the site of a new gas station. El Rancho had a 78-year story in the community.
So plans include saving some part of the restaurant and moving them to Buchanan Park. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us with more on this. 78 years, a long time, Janelle.
Yeah, absolutely. And the community felt all of that history. Parks and Rec says El Rancho can't be picked up and moved, so they're trying to salvage as much as possible to preserve the essence of the space. El Rancho has had more than a 70-year history in the Evergreen community. The building was the home of the U.S. Post Office in the 1950s. Parks and Rec says it then became the only restaurant in the country to have its own exit off of Federal Highway. The department president says it'd be a shame to lose so much history in demolition.
Wheels have already been put in motion, so Evergreen Parks and Rec is trying to do the next best thing and save as much as we can.
Some community members did organize a Save El Rancho campaign and petition. The president says she hopes to retain the neon sign, fireplace, post office photos, and ironwork in the garden. Anything saved will be added to the pavilion expansion at Buchanan Park. Janelle Finch, 9 News.